and welcome to the Readers and Writers Club. On today's show, I'm interviewing author, public speaker, and founder of Globuntu, Beatrice Fonye. Beatrice has written and published 10 books in a series she calls Africa for Smart Kids. She has also written a book on Princess of Africa, Yvonne Chaka Chaka, and the title of the book is Let's Talk About Yvonne Chaka Chaka. I'm your host, Rapela Mosala. This is the Readers and Writers Club. Let's Talk About Yvonne Chaka Chaka is the name of the book that Beatrice Fonye wrote. Beatrice Fonye from Cameroon as an author, lecturer, and public speaker. She also says she's Yvonne Chaka Chaka's biggest fan.
Mama Yvonne is someone that is known by all of us. She's respected. People admire her for the work that she does, for the person that she is, for the energy that she has. And I knew her through her music when I was still very young in Cameroon. And I never dreamt that I would one day sit in her office and least of all write a book about her. So when I got introduced to her in July last year by a common friend, I knew that I was going to take this opportunity to a higher level.
The book is written in an unusual form. It comes in the form of a conversation between a teenager and a very old man.
It's a conversation between a young girl from the diaspora of African descent in a conversation with an elderly storyteller from South Africa. So they're using Mama Yvonne as the figure that takes them across Africa, and they talk about quite a lot of different things.
Any feedback from those who have read the book?
Yes, people love the conversation. People love the book. You must understand we're just about to launch the book officially. So those who have read are those who are close to us, and that feedback has been extremely positive. Also because it takes people outside of South Africa. Quite a lot of people think Mama Yvonne is South African, but she's an African woman. So the conversation in the book takes kids from South Africa into the different African countries that she has traveled to. They talk about the food that she eats in different countries, try to trace the common grounds between us Africans through the food that is eaten in different countries. But it also tells you about some of the Pan-African heroes of the African history that we don't teach in schools today. So one of the reasons behind the book is that we want to attempt to decolonize education in schools. So decolonizing education and bringing back the Pan-African spirit that the founding fathers of our continent kind of cherished and promoted is what we're trying to bring back into the book.
Not only is Beatrice an author, she also mentors children who love books.
Children are the greatest consumers of books written by adults, and that way we fail to see the perspective of children. Children are the leaders of tomorrow, so they definitely have a vision about tomorrow. And if we invite them to write about their vision, about how they see Africa, about the Africa that they want, about what is important to them, it may be a very good learning point for us adults.
After the break, we get to hear what the lady herself thinks of this book, and to also hear Beatrice singing her favorite Yvonne Chaka Chaka song. Welcome back. Let's get right into it. Mama, mama, mama. And to the person at the center of this book, the Princess of Africa, as she's fondly known. Yvonne Chaka Chaka is an actress, singer, and entrepreneur. She also embraces education. What does she think of this book?
This is something I've always wanted to do. I think we need to make sure that our children read books, whether they're reading about Fela Kuti, whether they're reading about Yvonne Chaka Chaka. It's good when our children know their history, where they come from, who are the people in Africa. We've got so many female pilots that our children don't know about. We've got female presidents in Africa that our children don't even know about. We've got cars that are built in Africa, and our children probably think cars come from Europe and from America. So these are the things that we want to talk about. And when I met a friend of a friend, you know, Kevin introduced me to Beatrice, and we started talking, and it was like we're speaking the same language. I've got a young girl called Nontlantla. She's written 10 books. She's only 30. So, you know, this is something that we've always been talking about, but we're not sure how to tackle it, because for me, when we want to decolonize, when we talk about decolonizing education, we want our children to know who Thomas Sankara is. We want our children to know who was Patrice Lumumba and all those people, who was Sobukwe, who was Steve Biko, you know, who is Nelson Mandela, and other African heroes, because it is very important to read about those people. So when we met with Beatrice and she enticed me of doing this, I thought, as a champion for UNICEF and for the children, it's something that I would gladly love to do.
Want to find out about this huge African star? Get the book. Let's talk about Yvonne Chaka Chaka. The author says there are more books on the way. We couldn't let her go without hearing her sing her favorite Yvonne Chaka Chaka song. After all, she says she's a huge fan.
Thank you, Mr. DJ, for playing my song. Thank you, thank you. My love is so strong. Was that good?
Let's talk about Yvonne Chaka Chaka as a great learning tool, not only about Yvonne and her journey, but it can be used for spelling bees and for quizzes, so get yourself a copy. And if you also want us to interview you, all that you have to do is to add us on our social media pages and tell us your story. On Instagram and Twitter, we are at Bronama M, and on Facebook, we are at Bronama Media. Send us an email on bronamatv@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time.